This last year, Lenny had a case which involved a defendant who was accused by multiple victims of child molestation that had occurred allegedly years ago. So you had a detested crime, you had sympathetic victims who to some extent corroborated each other, and you had a delay which made investigation almost impossible. But as usual, Lenny overcame it all, and he got a complete acquittal for his client on every count. Lenny is also one of the very few people to have won this award more than once, and in reality, he's one of the people who really deserves it. So, to be honest with you, I'm extremely proud to be able to introduce to you this year's winner of the Jerry Giesler Award for Best Trial Lawyer of the Year, Leonard Levine.
Thank you, Bruce. I don't know, it seems like that Jerry Giesler guy had a lot more fun practicing law than we do. It's great to be here tonight, surrounded by so many colleagues and friends. The fact that I was introduced by Don Ray, such a trusted friend and valued colleague, makes the evening even more special. I'm also proud to be in the company of tonight's very deserving fellow honorees, including our new district attorney, Jackie Lacey.
Whoa, Jackie!
And especially such dear old friends as Don Wager and Larry Myra, who I have known since I first began practicing law over 40 years ago. To think that the three of us are still around, let alone being honored, is both fulfilling and sobering. I look up and see so many colleagues who started as I did in the early 70s, when you could still win a motion to suppress. And good faith was a comment on your religion, not an excuse for a deficient search warrant. I didn't realize how long I've actually been doing this or how old I was getting until I recently appeared on a new case with co-counsel who had started practicing when I did, and who had then introduced me to his daughter, who was the DA on the case. Or when a recent client turned to me as he was being led away to lockup and said, "Gee, Mr. Levine, I hope you're still around when I get out." And he was only sentenced to a misdemeanor. I remember appearing as a young DA before Dave Fitz, a renowned prosecutor and judge who was sharper when totally inebriated than most of us are when sober. He would take the DA and public defender into his chambers each morning, offer us a beer from his portable refrigerator, light up a cigarette, and after a few bottles, get the prosecutor's offer, the defense response, and then settle more cases in a day than we do now in a year. Of course, nowadays, defense counsel don't start drinking until after we get the DA's offer. Kind of like the attorney in the Wizard of It comic strip who proudly informs his client that he's gotten them off on a lesser charge, 5,000 volts instead of 10,000 volts. Through the years, I've met the great and not so great, from the charismatic to the characters. Before judges I knew would give me a fair trial, to the judge who once said at sidebar while looking at a particularly statuesque prospective juror, "If you kick off juror number 3, you will regret it." But I have practiced with and before some of the great attorneys and judges of our time. Unfortunately, none of them could be here tonight. Now, the truth is, many of them are here tonight, and it's great to see so many friendly, if not worn, faces. It is not only a unique profession we defense attorneys engage in, it's a humbling one. A year ago, I attended the same dinner after having just lost a trial in Norwalk I thought I should have won. Of course, there were myriad reasons, there always are, and good ones, I thought. But the truth is, no one wants to hear about how unlucky you were in defeat, certainly not your client. and there is no prize for second place. As John F. Kennedy candidly said after taking responsibility for the Bay of Pigs fiasco, victory has 1,000 fathers, defeat is an orphan. If that is correct, then I am happy to celebrate with two of the fathers who worked so hard on the case for which I am being honored and are as responsible as I am for its success. First and foremost, my co-counsel Michael Chaney, who worked tirelessly on this case.
Yeah.
Every motion, every discovery hearing, every 402 ruling crucial to our success had his stamp on it. Thank you, Michael. And Adam Dawson, who must have interviewed close to 100 witnesses to give us the ability to present all the evidence necessary to establish our client's innocence. A special thanks to John Tyre, a gifted attorney in his own right who referred the case to me. Thank you, John. More important, victory in this case restored my faith in the system and in our ability to still make a difference. Despite facing 11 counts of molestation and 5 named victims, our client Wade Bachman, a respected school teacher of 18 years, kept insisting he was innocent. And after an exhaustive investigation which uncovered countless reasons why the allegations just might be false, we actually started to believe him. The lesson is, I guess, and 2 successful polygraph examinations, I might say. The lesson is, I guess, if we expect jurors to believe or presume our client is innocent, perhaps we should as well. Wade Bachman is here tonight, and I would like him to stand up and be recognized. Wade? But I would be less than honest if I didn't point out that victory today in these kinds of cases is far more difficult than at any time in my 42 years of practice. And even when acquitted, the client often loses his reputation and his career. It used to be that when people first heard charges like this, they glared at your client as if to say, "How could you have done this?" Now they glare at his attorney as if to say, "How can you represent him?" And those are just my family and friends. You can imagine how the jurors feel. Actually, many of my close and dear friends and Lisa's family, Joel and Goldie, Eric and Paula, are here tonight, including my best friend of 46 years, Gary Kasich. And I want to thank you all. Nice applause for Gary. I want to thank you all. Thank you for your friendship through the years and for your presence and praise tonight, given with such enthusiasm and love. I also want to thank you for the continuous faith you have shown in my ability by referring so many cases to me through the years. Almost all of them, of course, involve your own children, but what the hell, a case is a case. Thank you again for being here. To my children, Sammy, Sherry, and Robbie, thank you for your love and support and for making me so proud every day to be your father. And thank you, pretty Kate, as well, for being here. It's my son's girlfriend. To my wife, Lisa, who occasionally refers to me as the perv attorney, often leaving out the word attorney. Thank you for your love, calm disposition, and sound advice throughout these 30 wonderful years. Behind every great trial attorney is a wife telling him he's not so great and keeping him grounded. Or as she once suggested when I was beginning my representation of a Catholic priest, wouldn't it be easier if you represented the victim who was suing the priest? Yes, dear, it would. But that's not the business I've chosen, to steal a phrase. I love you, Lisa, very much. Why then, why have we chosen this glorious burden known as criminal defense? The appropriate answer, of course, is without us, who is there to make sure the system works? Only if we investigate every allegation, contest every motion, litigate every issue, can we ever be sure that the right result, just maybe, will be achieved. Only when we do our best can we have any faith that the system will do its best. And only then can we be sure that a Wade Bachman has a chance to be acquitted for crimes the evidence eventually revealed he did not commit. Or perhaps the real answer for our choice may be as simple as a scene from the movie Patton, when General Omar Bradley says, talking about war, George, I do this job because I was trained to do it. You do it because you love it. We do love it. We love the challenge, we love the battle, and yes, even the stakes. But most of all, I think it is the people we love and will miss the most. The older I get, the more sentimental and more reflective about my years as a criminal defense attorney. It's then that I more clearly understand what most of you know, that when all is said and done, it's still the people, the relationships that matter most, much more than the cases. It's the attorneys and judges, clerks and bailiffs who have shown me such kindness and generosity through the years. Many years ago, a seasoned and somewhat ornery prosecutor, Steve Barshop, thank you, Steve, told me what I have come to believe and tried to live by. When all is said and done, all you have is your reputation and your good name. Not all the talent or bravado in the world can save an attorney who can't be believed by the opposing side or trusted by the court. And so, like most of you here tonight, my career has seen its share of wins and losses, successes and failures. But if the time ever comes when the only thing I can say that I have accomplished in my career was to have earned the respect and friendship of those of you here tonight, then I will have considered my career a complete success.
Yeah.
I want to conclude with a word about a good friend of mine, Howard Krepak, a talented and respected civil litigator who couldn't be here tonight, but who, when he heard I was being honored, said to me, "Congratulations, Lenny. In my book, you are the attorney of the year every year." Only he didn't say those overly generous words in his own voice, but rather with words spoken by a computer which he activated with his eyes. Howard could no longer speak or engage in even the most basic of human tasks because he was stricken with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, 2 years ago. A disease he is fighting bravely, but for which there is no cure and no victory. So you flatter me with this award tonight, and I am indeed honored to receive it. But it is not I, but my friend Howard, who is the true attorney of the year. And I would like to dedicate this award to him. Thank you very much.
Great is that.
Yay, Daddy. Yay.
Gives me great pleasure to announce that this year's President's Award goes to Earl L. Hansen posthumously and Mitchell W. Eggers individually and together as Hansen and Eggers in recognition of their lifetime of professional, successful representation of criminal defendants and their unwavering dedication to the practice of criminal law.